New Zealand's volcanic eruption. The IG report is released today. Bernie versus Hillary, and Kentucky's Supreme Court denies. Hey everyone, I hope you all had a great weekend. I'm Reagan, and this is the News Brief Now on NRN. Today is Monday, December 9th, 2019, and here are your top stories. At least 5 people have died after an eruption on a volcanic island off the coast of New Zealand. This occurred Monday. Several people have been taken to a nearby hospital due to injuries, and emergency services say it is still too dangerous to return to the island to search for those that are missing. It's believed that fewer than 50 people, that includes both New Zealanders and international tourists, were on or near White Island, the volcanic island 30 miles off the coast of New Zealand's North Island. The exact number of people unaccounted for, however, at this time is still unclear. The eruption of that volcano occurred just after 2 p.m. on Monday. This was the first time it's erupted since 2001. In other news, today the IG report was released, and initial findings say there was no evidence of political bias, despite the obvious performance failures of the FBI. However, the U.S. Attorney General who is, not Bill Barr, but John Durham, a U.S. attorney who is currently conducting a wide-ranging investigation into the origins of the Trump-Russia probe, released a rare statement on Monday saying he disagrees with the conclusion of that FISA report. He said, quote, "Based on the evidence collected to date, and while our investigation is ongoing, last month we advised the Inspector General that we do not agree with some of the report's conclusions as to predication and how the FBI case was opened." He made that statement this morning. He continued on saying, quote, "I have the utmost respect for the mission of the Office of Inspector General and the comprehensive work that went into the report prepared by Mr. Horowitz and his staff. However, our investigation is not limited to developing information from within the component parts of the justice system, the Justice Department. Our investigation has included developing information from other persons and entities, both in the U.S. as well as outside the U.S., end quote. Attorney General Bill Barr also released a statement ripping the FBI's investigation as being launched with the thinnest of suspicions. He also expressed frustration in that the FBI continued their investigation of the Trump campaign even after becoming aware of exculpatory evidence. Barr said, quote, "The Inspector General's report now makes clear that the FBI launched an intrusive investigation of a U.S. presidential campaign on the thinnest of suspicions that, in my view, were insufficient to justify the steps taken." End quote. Barr believes the report shows clear abuse in the surveillance process as they rushed to obtain the necessary material, misled the FISA court, left out exculpatory evidence from filings, and ignored information negating the reliability of their principal source, Christopher Steele's dossier. So I can't wait to find out what comes out from Durham's investigation, which has yet to be released. Also in the news, Senator Bernie Sanders on Sunday denied an accusation made by Hillary Clinton last week that the Vermont senator's delayed endorsement in 2016 hurt her Democratic presidential candidacy, saying that he did everything he could to get the former Secretary of State elected president. He said, quote, "I'm sorry that Hillary Clinton is rerunning 2016. Sanders said in an interview with Iowa Press that aired on Sunday. He went on, quote, "I could take out a letter from Hillary Clinton saying, 'Thank you, Bernie, for working so hard to try to make me the President of the United States,' end quote." Sanders' rebuttal comes after Clinton talked to Howard Stern last Wednesday in a radio interview in which she spoke to questions of whether the Democratic Party did enough to come together during the last presidential election cycle. Clinton said, "I don't hate anybody," when Stern asked about Sanders and his 2016 Democratic primary campaign. But Clinton did not hesitate to point out that she believed Sanders' delayed endorsement hurt her campaign. She said, quote, "He hurt me, there's no doubt about it, and I hope he doesn't do it again to whoever gets the nomination. Once is enough." Sanders responded on Sunday that he worked as hard as humanly possible once Clinton was the Democratic nominee. He said, quote, "We did dozens and dozens of rallies around the country." Sanders also mentioned how the pair sat down in 2016 after Clinton won the primary to create a Democratic platform that was as progressive as it could be, and that ended up happening. She just didn't end up winning. And another tidbit of news, the Supreme Court has declined to hear a challenge to the Kentucky law that obligates doctors to show and describe ultrasounds to women who seek abortions, even if patients object. The justice's decision not to take up the case leaves intact a federal appeals court ruling that upheld the law against a First Amendment challenge that claimed the measure abridged doctors' freedom of speech. The Kentucky Ultrasound Informed Consent Act, which is what it's called, requires physicians prior to an abortion to perform an ultrasound, describe and display its images to the patient, and make the fetal heartbeat audible. The decision to deny the appeal means the requisite 4 justices did not sign on to hear the petition. There were no dissents from the denial. Well, I believe that's pretty much all I have for you today. I'm going to stay on that IG report just to sift through it. Don't forget to check out newrightnetwork.com for the latest headlines and opinion. Also, don't forget to check out our Right Now podcasts. Our Right Now podcasts are bringing you interviews from some of the most fascinating and interesting people in the movement today. Check us out on Twitter at New Right Network and on Facebook. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Reagan with your News Brief Now on NRN. Have a great rest of your day.